Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. My name is Adam Rosman. I will be your host today. Today is the 29th of May, 2024. And as usual, let's check if there are any new participants. No. And please remember that the meeting is recorded. If you would like to have the project, just filter on the project level for the help wanted or the good first issue labels, or follow the link in the meeting notes, and you will be able to pick up any of these, and that would be a big help. If you would like to become an official adopter, then as usual, feel free to visit the community repository within the project, and in the root of the repository, modify the adopters.md file and create a pull request, and that would be also a big help for the project. If you are interested about the status of the project, feel free to check out any of the links below, our incubation proposal, the different statistics, the images, the pipelines, and so on. And if you have any issues with the tests on your pull requests, then just create an issue in the repository where you are facing the problem, and link that issue into the Metal3 CI tracker project, and that would help the CI maintainers keep an eye on that issue. Okay, I think these are the general info I carried over from last week, Dimitri's webinar proposal, and minor things that happened with it is I just put my name, or Kashif put my name for the introduction. We agreed that if, I don't know if Dimitri would like to do it alone, that's fine. If another person is needed, I would be happy to help with that, because I see that it's 3 to 4 people. And then Kashif, I think Kashif, yeah, put his name here for the provisioning and cluster API. I guess that's the more important thing. So yeah, from our side, there are at least two volunteers to help out with this. Are you in the meeting, Dimitri? Let me check. Yeah.
I am, yes. Thank you very much. In principle, I can leave the introduction to you if you feel like that. I was thinking of doing it as an organizer of this webinar, but I'm also not insisting on doing it.
Yeah, me neither. So it makes absolute sense if you would like to do it as an organizer. So I just put my name there because I've seen that question mark, but up to you, really.
Yeah, thank you very much. If I cannot do it for some reason, I'll definitely reach out to you. And thank you, Kashi, for volunteering for the second part. That's probably the key part we want to show. We should probably all 3-4 of us come together at some point and discuss it. I'll be on PTO until next week, so I'll probably start pinging you again in the middle of next week to discuss the details.
I'm just checking if Kashif is in the meeting, but no. Yeah, thanks, Dimitri. So that's all basically about the update related to this. And then I think if there are no other questions or reminders that you would like me to carry over from previous weeks, then we can continue with the scalability. And I've seen the discussion initiated by Mohamed, both on the Ironic IRC and on the Kubernetes bare metal. So are you here, Mohamed? Let me check. Yes, you are. But I can't hear you. Just static noise.
Hear noise, but no voice as well.
Yeah, just weird noise, like, I don't know. I mean, let's continue, and we will get back to this. Feel free to, yeah, feel free to write down on the chat, and I will just copy paste it into the meeting notes. Okay. Is there anyone from the, or is there anyone else who would like to talk about scalability from some perspective?
I don't have any other updates so far. I'm still working on documentation, and I haven't worked on Ironic standalone operator too much. I know Mohammed is looking at proof of concepting some things around host networkless operation, but that seems to be also in quite early stages. I think we are a bit stuck there. We have discussed many options in both like HA area and host networkless area. The former can still progress, I guess, with some compromises if we accept that our solutions will be not exactly perfect in the Kubernetes grand scheme of the universe. Getting rid of host networking is an early discussion / proof of concept stage, and I don't believe we have a path forward so far.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should copy here the discussion link that Mohammed started. But oh, where is that? That would be a good thing, even for the reminders, because that's a discussion which would be useful for everyone to check. Not here. Who was it in the ironic image?
Mohammed pasted the link in the chat.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, this is the one, and I will just put it also into the notes, and we can quickly check this. I will later move it to the reminders. Okay, so yeah, for those, I think this wasn't fleshed out discussion, but many times we have touched on this, but the discussion itself, like the page, the GitHub page, wasn't presented on the meeting. So a week or two ago, Mohammed created this discussion. Dimitri Leonard and sometimes me also discussed it on the ironic standalone operator. Sometimes we discussed it in-house. So basically the idea is that we would like to run the ironic pod in a way that it is not attached to the host network. It could be any sort of solution, but what seems to be the most feasible at the moment, even if it's not a complete solution, is to use some load balancer like kubevip or Metal3, as far as I remember. And then this would be only just an approach for situations where you can do your like scenario or execute your use case only with Redfish virtual media. So anything that would involve PXE booting is out of the picture for dependency reasons. Basically, it would need the layer 2 network and so on. So that's I think what's this about, and that's the discussion explains possible the issues and the topics that have or like the not the blockers but the problem domains related to this. And there is, I think, a long and short term vision. Is anything like Dimitri would like to add to this? Maybe.
No, not really. Thank you. And the idea is clear. I think we agree that that's a goal we should try to follow. What is not clear is implementation and how many compromises we need to make on the path towards it.
Yeah, and of course, if we would, it's just in a theoretical scenario, if we would like, let's say, go in a direction where we pick Metal LB or CubeWip or whatever else, to even just for this half solution for the Redfish virtual media, that would mean that we have, of course, now an additional requirement for our whole stack. So an additional dependency that we won't be able to live without, basically, because this would make the host network less how to say configuration, the default one, and the one that we develop further. And I think it's already a requirement for some downstreams because of security reasons and whatnot. So this would, as far as I can tell, complicate the stack anyhow. So this would grow, extend our stack, and we would have new components. So it's a quite heavy decision and discussion. Yeah. And in the meantime, Mohamed also pasted into the chat some info about the fake IPA. Let me put it here also. I think this can move here. Fake IPA. Can do it like this. So yeah, Mohamed brought the changes to the Ironic community last week. I've seen that on the IRC, and some questions were answered, and then I think there are still reviews required, as Dimitri said. So that's also in progress. So that's about the scalability. One is the test environment for scalability, and the other is the discussion about the host networkless Ironic deployment, which is also, I would say, a requirement for good scalability. Okay. Is there any question from anyone related to this? If not, then we can continue with the release team. And there's a comment from Ricardo.
Yeah, just as planned, we will have new bug fix branches in Ironic upstream this week or early next week. And then we'll cut a new release for Ironic image right after.
Nice, nice. Sounds good. Any questions related to that from anyone? Any other release that someone would like to introduce? Okay, if nothing, then we have the regular discussion topics, and this is something that was, I think, very actively discussed during the week, and it's from Tuomo.
Yeah, so this is now needing to happen because we are now getting multiple of the dependencies blocked by this, including Gopher Cloud and Code Generator, and also the EOS is only 2 months away. So yeah, there's a new comment I see. Yep. But in this case, we are basically forced by the Gopher Cloud. And it's going to come in at BMO main. So that will then force Catam3 as well. And then we are basically all in already. So
Yeah, I'm
any
not
other.
going to block it. I'm not going to block it this time around, but I also don't really want it to become a standard practice because distributions tend to be lagging behind. And if you just proactively bump versions without really forced to do that, we essentially causing troubles for local development who no longer can do DNF install Golang, who now need to figure out how to install Golang from source or from binaries locally, which raises the bar quite significantly.
Yeah, but in this case, I also checked the Kubernetes repo, and they, for example, had stayed at 120 for a while, but they also did take 122 now. So I guess this Go version has some features that people are looking forward to use. So
yeah, I can easily believe that. And if we at some point need to use new features of Go, then well, it's also a reasonable conversation to have. Although ideally not like the next day after it gets released. I'm not referring to this case, just
yeah, I get your point. And I agree with you that there's no point of pumping the Go mod unless it is needed, because Go has strong backwards compatibility guarantees. So yeah, but this time I think we are basically forced. Yeah, so I guess we'll do the pumping before we do the next minor releases, and happily the ironic bug fix branch is also coming at a convenient time, so we can take that before releasing.
Yeah, Kashif raised his hands.
Yeah, just to note one thing, I was actually doing some investigation and I found out that from this Go 1.22 onwards, it might be that for some cases we have to fix the toolchain directive to the patch versions as well. I remember we were having some issues with that in BMO specifically, but that is something that's a heads up that it might also fix the toolchain to some specific patch version. Otherwise, I have seen in some cases the tests are failing.
that's interesting. I'd like maybe to have some references on this, because so far everything I've seen this toolchain, it gets outed automatically quite regularly. I've always removed that. I've never seen a single problem from removing it.
Okay, then it could be coming from some env. If you can check that the same PR that I have in BMO, there is one test failing for that, and then I was actually looking into the Kubernetes master branch as well as cluster API master branch, and I see that in both places they have actually fixed it to a patch version. And I haven't done more investigation beyond this, so I'm not sure if that is something that we can completely get rid of.
I wonder if they make a conscious decision to do that versus just the tooling did that and nobody cared.
It seems like
Yeah,
some
because
conscious decision to me. I saw in one of the issues commented that this has been something like from non-expected behavior to now expected behavior.
Interesting. I just wonder what this thing does, right? For example, you put there 1.22.1 and I have locally 1.22.3. Is it gonna like reject it for me? I guess that's not a question for you. Just let's maybe get back to this topic before we agree on some strategy, maybe do some research.
I would also like to see the discussion.
I will if that needs to be that it's fixed, I'm gonna do some investigation before we do so and put it on the comment, hopefully first in BMO and then later on the other repos in Metal3.
Yeah, because so far where I've seen that behavior is always that you are trying to use your Go 121 and then some dependency forces the bump for you. In that case, it has brought the toolchain directive as well, but nowhere else I have seen that. Yeah, and as Dimitri mentioned, if you just use the Go directive then to 122, then you can remove the toolchain and it has been fine. But yeah, please link the source and let's take a look.
I'll do so.
Thanks all of you. I think it was a good discussion, and I think this is kind of the good way to do it. So Kashif made an issue of PR, and then we discussed it. So I think actually we kind of did good here. That's my opinion. Let's see what happens with the tool chain. Okay, anyone else who would like to comment anything? In addition to these things, any other topics for the general agenda?
I just wanted to mention that the next week there will be a bare metal meetup at CERN in Geneva. And so some, like myself, Maknoor and Jay from Ironic will be present there. And I actually plan to do a presentation on MetaCube, nothing like it's just an introduction. We will have more topic. I can share the agenda, and I'm not sure if anything will be recorded, but in case, we can of course share the videos if anyone is interested.
That sounds awesome. If you need any Kubernetes MetaCube resource, like the slides from previous KubeCons or some logo or whatever, just feel free to ping me.
I definitely will do that. Thank you.
I will also add this to
Oh yeah.
here. Nice. It's Geneva with
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Is there anything else from anyone? Okay, if not, then we can continue with the triaging. It's triaging week, and we don't have that many things to triage. Close the chat window. Okay, let's see what's the newest. So newest one is related to basically allowing custom provisioners as plugins for the BMO, which, I mean, for me it's fine, but I mean the idea itself that we would allow other provisioners. I've heard, I think Dimitri mentioned before that you folks have something different than Ironic also. I don't know, what's your opinion about this?
We do not have alternative provisioners. We have some things that are bolted on top of what we have in MetaCube, but BMO we use more or less intact as it is upstream. I actually left a comment here earlier. I don't object to this, except that people may be overestimating how useful that would be, because BMO is to a large extent, BMO still makes a lot of ironic assumptions. Like, I don't know, take our rate format. It's derived from ironic, for instance. But also like the notions of inspections, cleaning, and stuff like this, they are like ironic specific. So yeah, we can do it. It's probably gonna organize our code a bit better. I don't see really serious reasons not to do it, but I also don't really see, I don't expect a lot of provisioners to just appear if we simply do this. Maybe some downstream provisioners. Maybe we should ask the reporter for their use case, in addition to being like a nice architecture.
Mm. Should we accept this and and ask after that, or should that be a, what do you think? Should that be a required further information? But I think we can accept this.
I think so too, and maybe marketers help wanted, because I don't believe anyone from the team is gonna do that.
No, no. Should I ask anything else? Just comment.
No, I think it's good.
Okay, let's go back. Next one. Ironic pod contains ironic out volume, but it doesn't use it. It will, or not a volume, but yeah, I think Mount North PR will be relevant here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's currently only used in one case, but it will be used in all cases.
yeah. I think I reviewed this. No, I haven't. What?
There have been a bit of a discussion here. A few people wanted to change direction again to maybe still provide HTTPS with as a mounted thing.
Not again. I mean, there was a bit of a discussion and then I changed it, but then I've been focusing on other things. And I believe this was failing some tests that I need to fix. KubeBuilder related. Is it not?
Okay, probably.
No, I
ahead.
think there are two different things going on here. There is one for the ironic image. So this is what you just mentioned, right? This one.
Yeah, both of these are supposed to work with each other.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know about this one, just the ironic one. Okay. And then for this question, the answer was that seriously, no, yeah. Yeah, okay. So in the future, we will need this more, right? Yes.
I should think so, yeah.
Okay. I will also link this one here also. Okay. And we won't accept this because this has been answered. Good. Good. What should I put here? This is invalid. Okay, thanks, folks. Then we discuss this one too. This is something new, and I'm not using my Slack from the web browser, so I can't really use the link. Are any of you do any of you remember this one? So supposedly this was discussed on Slack.
Oh, it wasn't me at least.
Yeah, I have no memory of this. I haven't seen this discussion. I will be honest, I don't know what's the difference, what's the practical difference. I haven't checked this out of service state. Or just forget it already. I think I will read upon this a little bit and come back, and I will check this Slack message also, and let's see what it's also kind of interesting implementation detail here that this should be dependent on the Kubernetes version also, which is I don't know.
I think out of service state might be something that's a Kubernetes feature itself.
Yeah,
like core Kubernetes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's for the node. That as far as I get it. So I guess it's when we just delete it, it would get this state, and I don't know what this does, drains the node or whatever. Not sure.
Yes.
Or just coordinate firm, drain it, and clean. Like this is something I vaguely remember working with or looking at, but I don't remember anymore. Okay, if none of you have participated in this discussion on the Slack, then I will just investigate it. Let's not waste any more time on this. Yeah, this I remember. I almost accepted this, but it might be, yeah, it requires a community discussion. So with Leonard, we have discussed it in a few weeks ago, and also with Kashif, that now the KubeVirt project is aiming to bring in BMC support into the KubeVirt, and then that we would like to switch from the libvirt QEMU KVM basically scripted solution that we have to use KubeVirt, so that do configure the virtualization on the cloud level, on Kubernetes level. It would still use like the hypervisor would be still the QEMU KVM, but we wouldn't generate XML files for the libvirt and wouldn't do it through Ansible and whatnot. We would just apply the manifests and we would do that. And I think Kashif already picked up some smaller tasks in this process, or in this as part of this project. If you are still here, could you mention a few things about that, Kashif?
Yeah. Sorry for, I don't know how bad is my audio. Can you hear me while
It's good.
I'm
It's very
driving.
good.
Yeah. So I actually started looking into this since this is still inside the the maintainer who is actually developing in this project, and the proposal to merge it has been merged in the KubeVirt itself. I have picked up a task where it's simply just renaming the API versions and CRDs and all to make sure that it's matching the KubeVirt APIs and other stuff. So that is like the phase one, where after these changes are done in the current Cube BMC, and it's gonna be a part of the KubeVirt project, as you said.
Yep, thanks. Yeah, one thing I can say already, this would kind of simplify both devenv and now Leonard is suggesting this for BMO E2E. I would suggest this also for devenv eventually. We would still need some scripted value generation, some scripted template rendering, but probably we will be able to do it via customize or some simpler scripts, not the whole like stuff that we have right now. Because what we do in the devenv, for example, and I think if I don't know how the BMO E2 is doing it, but in the devenv we generate MAC addresses, and then we actually use them to template stuff for Ironic also, because we need those MAC addresses to be put on the BMH manifests to have a BMC address. So that is something that we do outside, even I think outside of Ansible or within an Ansible Python plugin or somewhere in the scripts. I once worked with that. So we still need to do that. But other than that, it would be, I think, fully within the cluster. I don't know. Is there any other question related to it?
Just to read aloud my comment, there's a bit of a caveat here. I don't know how many features of SushiTools KubeVirt is going to support. We may end up with reduced ability to test certain things. Are they going to do virtual media?
It's planned. It's not even in the current proposal. It's I think just stated as planned.
Yeah, Redfish is actually planned as a new next feature. It's not supported.
We're talking about Redfish or Redfish virtual media?
Redfish, even to begin with Redfish. So Redfish
Right.
virtual media is, I don't think it's mentioned.
Right. But by the way, I've just left a comment there saying don't bother with APMI because it's like, it's enormous effort with diminishing returns. You're going to be like 90% of your code will be implementing the APMI protocol, unless you're lucky and you find some Go library to implement that. It's just like, it's going to be a huge pain. I think, honestly, if you ask me, I think this project should concentrate on Redfish only. But then back to my point, end-to-end testing in BMO requires testing certain features like virtual media, ideally firmware settings, and ideally firmware updates. SushiTools can do all this. It has real virtual media support, as you know. It also has emulated bias settings, which are just some values it keeps on the machine in the XML. It doesn't actually change any. I mean, there's no behavior change, but it can set and unset values. And in a similar way, it will be able to do firmware updates in quotes, which are not actually going to update anything, but it will change version numbers. If we go with KubeVirt, and if KubeVirt only supports APMI initially and Redfish power on, power off later, we lose a lot of potential for testing. I'm not sure what to do about this.
I actually agree with Dimitri in this. Probably we need to take it not in BMO first, maybe in CAPM3 or somewhere, and then we test all the redfish related things still in BMO E2E until we have a full support for that in KubeVirt.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I actually wonder if I haven't checked this, like Word BMC. Word BMC, is this the OpenStack Word BMC?
Virtual BMC, no, they are probably talking about they're talking about their components, right? I guess they just call it similar to virtual BMC in OpenStack. No, I don't think they mean that. I don't think they're gonna bring our Python code into the KubeVirt.
I guess so.
Or we can also do in this way that we, for redfish related tests like redfish virtual media and all, we still use sushi tools, but then for the other BMC related E2Es, we use Qubit, whatever the support is there. I mean, I also like the idea that this is more going towards the cloud native way, and we should probably do that. And it also makes our project a lot more, efficient. That we are also adding support and let's say how to work with other CNCF projects as well. So in that scenario, it would look much better. And then we will also have some traction on KubeVirt that we have, so that when they see that Metal3 has a use case for redfish as well, I think that it would be faster to add those kind of features.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you are saying, that we would just partially integrate this for just the IPMI stuff, or just as an optional way of deployment, for example, in the dev environment, then we could look around and see how well well supported all the RESTfish stuff is. Yeah, let's see. I might ask some modifications to the original issue, or some. Okay, so what Leonard made was for running it with the BMO E2E. So then it seems to me that right now in the meeting, the conclusion is that maybe we shouldn't do it for the BMO E2E. Let's integrate it somewhere else first, or do I misunderstand that?
I am more, let's say, my point was that let's even still do it partially. We are not talking about dropping any redfish tests. We are just replacing those that are currently tested with IPMI. Those would be actually using this KubeVirt. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Just by the time I learned sushi tool code, accepted, and on the 2024 5 meeting, we have agreed to accept this. Yeah, we have another one for the stand. Yeah, okay, that one was invalid. This I have to check. And this is the LLDP collection, LLDP information collection in the BMA. So this is already a second version of the original LLDP stuff. And what was, I think, the result of that original discussion, that if we collect these or propagate back these, because these are collected during inspection, then we would put it into a separate SCR. And then Dimitri commented here that we would need a design proposal first. Okay, I think then we can accept this again. This was once accepted. And I think we have this order issue. We might have to close this one then. Yeah, and I will just close that in favor of the new one. Yeah. So I will close this. Good, nice. And then I think all the other stuff is very old. Nothing. Yes, I comment that. Yes, this is not relevant anymore. Okay, this we already discussed. This is not relevant. Okay. I think we have checked all the stuff that that needed to be checked from the stale list. These can go to stale. I checked them. Yeah. Okay, so that's all. Is there any other suggestion, problems, questions, anything else? Okay, if nothing, then that was all for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience and time. And let's meet next week. And until then, have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.